Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Football Zone podcast. It's been a while.
Has been a while.
We've been away.
Been on holiday. How dare you?
Anyway, we're back to football now. A
Yeah.
lot's happened since I've been away as well.
A lot has happened. The season coming to a pause for the World Cup to start.
It was a great TikTok posted on our TikTok of the comparison between last year and this year and the breakdowns between that. But
Yeah.
mostly in the news is Ronaldo yet again. But it's the Piers Morgan interview that he done.
There was a very, very, very premeditated interview.
Yeah,
Piers Morgan said that Ronaldo reached out to him
exactly.
to do the interview. He timed it perfectly. He's known exactly what he's done.
Exactly. Before the World Cup.
It is season's on pause, so he doesn't have to be there. It gives Man United time to deal with it in their way, dissect it, do it in the right way, as in, are they going to terminate his contract? Is he going to try and resolve the issues?
Which he looks like he's trying to do.
Ronaldo doesn't want to resolve the issues. He wants out. That's why he's done it. He doesn't care about losing a potential 16 million quid. That doesn't
Bother him.
make a difference to him whatsoever. He's timed it perfectly where he can go with Portugal, who he enjoys playing for.
The thing is, though, not a lot of the Portuguese players are quite happy with him.
No,
I've seen like clips of training. I don't know if it's just
I
the
think
context that the clips in and stuff
I
like
think
that.
the media are trying to make it as bad as it is. Like
Yeah,
like
I
obviously,
understand that part.
obviously Old Trafford, them taking down the posters. That's not taking down Ronaldo's poster. That is because the rugby is getting played at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So they're going to have the rugby posters up, and plus it's coming up to Christmas, so they'll be putting Christmas posters up.
Yeah.
Like that's making a whole deal out of nothing. Same with Bruno.
Ronaldo was the one that was on the end, so
Yeah.
he's obviously going to be the first person that's going to get taken down.
And it's the same with the Bruno Fernandes handshake situation.
Yeah.
Fernandes came out in an interview and said that put audio on it. If you listen to the audio, he made a joke.
Yeah.
Like, but you just see it as a slowed down video, so it looks like Fernandes has aired him.
But he shook his hand.
Yeah, but he
still shook his hand.
So it is obviously the media trying to make it out in a very bad light.
And then also the way he's done this is really crafty. He's going into a World Cup. He's going to advertise himself at the World Cup because he is a tournament player at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his UCL stats.
Yeah.
Like, he's the best.
Yeah.
So he's a tournament player. He's there to advertise himself to teams. Like, look, I'm still ready to play. I'm still able to score goals.
I've very much, because obviously he's got some sort of beef with Rooney, wherever that's come from. But Rooney came out and said that, and I completely agree with this, is Ronaldo's struggling to come to terms with age.
Yeah.
He said age hits everyone, and it's hit Ronaldo, and he's struggling to come to terms with it because he thought he was invincible because he's got an 8-pack and this that he could play forever. Thought was thing. But it does hit everyone, and he is struggling because he wanted to move in the summer, and no one wanted him.
Exactly. And it's clear as day that it's going to be difficult for him to get a move. And you also saw when Piers Morgan was talking about the Messi situation. He's like, if PSG came with an offer, all these questions were very handed on a plate to him. I feel like it was well organised and sort of crafted in a way that would sort of advertise him in a way.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like pointing out his stats, pointing out how famous he is, pointing out how the Instagram followers
Piers Morgan is a massive Ronaldo fan. Like, he loves Ronaldo.
And the thing is, though, Ronaldo likes him because it's a lot of publicity as well. He's a high-profile sort of
big time
journalist.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, Ronaldo said during that interview, just like, there's a lot of journalists or interviewers, he said, because his English is a bit broken.
Yeah.
Lie all the time. I wouldn't go to Piers Morgan if you want to go to someone that doesn't lie all the time. He lies all of the time. He used to be the like a director at like Daily Mail, or the Sun or whatever newspaper article. and I'm not being funny, but newspaper articles are the hub of lies.
Yeah.
So
I would say I'm a fan of Piers Morgan, like to some extent. Like you can't agree with everything that a person says and does.
He gets on my nerves sometimes as well. But I do agree with some of the points that he makes. But he was a bit of a brown nose in that interview, I've got to say.
Oh yeah, he is with every Ronaldo interview. But I'd say I can sympathise with Ronaldo in his situation at Man U just because of everyone who's went in the past and said similar things.
But people have stated like there hasn't been enough investment in players and stuff like that. But this guy's just straight up just like going, right, they're absolutely awful. Yeah. And I just want to leave instantly. But he's also then negatively affecting the team though.
Oh, big time. But like to go on the point of former players like Di Maria, he said when he joined within the first training session he wanted to find a way to tear up his contract. Yeah. Lukaku, he had massive issues with Man United as a club when he joined. Alexis Sanchez, same again. He said as soon as first week there he wanted to find a way back to Arsenal. Who else has had issues there? There's another big player that I'm forgetting about.
Falcao, when he was there.
Falcao had issues when he was there.
And then Paul Pogba the entire time he's been there.
So there's a lot of previous with Man United big stars going to the club who have issues with the board, with the club, with the coaches, whatever it is. There's a trend.
Yeah, it's the consistency is clearly there. But the thing is, though, Ronaldo's already been there. He knows the infrastructure. He knows, well, some of the sort of. But the thing is, though, as you said in that interview, the infrastructure is exactly the same as when he came.
That's his problem.
There's no change.
Everything's the same at the club.
So I can see, in a way, they're trying to keep the infrastructure as similar as possible because that's the same infrastructure they've had success from. But if you look at other clubs such as Manchester City, such as Liverpool, such as any other club in the league who are increasing in success, they're changing their facilities, they're upgrading their facilities, they're increasing the staff, they're increasing, they're trying to get better, like Tottenham as well. They're increasing
Leicester's training ground, state of the art.
I mean, what I was saying was like off success since they've got that, they haven't been as successful. They are starting to get a little bit better now, but like with a team such as Manchester United that has the funds available to increase the sort of, better the facilities. Yeah. Why not do it? Why not go with everyone else? Why be the team that's behind? Why be the team that's been left fossils in the ground?
What I can't understand with that interview is him targeting Erik ten Hag. Yeah. Because he said in the interview that Erik ten Hag doesn't respect him, so why should he respect Erik ten Hag? But the difference there is Ronaldo still expects to have a team built around him. Yeah. You can't. I mean, he's always thought that he would go back to Sporting Lisbon one day. The Sporting Lisbon coach came out and said that he doesn't want him because he's not a part of the project he wants to build at the club. So
it's a negative sort of impact on the squad yet again.
You can't have a squad built around him. I mean, Man United were doing brilliantly well without Ronaldo. Remember, so Fernandes got signed in the January, didn't he? Yeah. And then in the summer, Ronaldo got signed back. Or did Fernandes have a season and a half? Season and a half. Remember how the stats of Fernandes put up in that season and a half before Ronaldo joined?
Was it?
I actually can't remember. How long's Fernandes been there now?
Feels like forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, did he join halfway through COVID? I feel like he joined halfway through COVID.
Maybe so, might have been there a season and a half. But anyway, the stats that Fernandes was putting up before Ronaldo joined was unbelievable. But the connection that they had with the interlink, we spoke about it before, was Mason Greenwood situation and all. Yeah. Martial, Rashford, the interlink and the changing and things like that.
Attack.
With Fernandes and behind them and stuff like that. That they look like a team.
They had an identity.
Arsenal, like under Arteta progressing and now where they are. That they had the progression, they had that line where they were going to follow. sign Ronaldo, all of a sudden
You have to drop
everyone has to cross the ball to Ronaldo all the time, this and the other, and then all of a sudden they've dropped off. And to blame Eric Ten Hag for that, daft. I mean, obviously,
he didn't.
He didn't blame Eric Ten Hag, but he's saying that Eric Ten Hag doesn't respect him. No, Eric Ten Hag knows what he wants. That's not you.
Exactly. But the thing is, though, they signed. I think Fernandes has been here 2.5 seasons.
I'm gonna have to Google now. Keep talking.
Google that, because I'm frustrated, because Ronaldo's been here a full season and been a full season and a half now, because he signed in a summer window under Solskjaer. Then Ranić took over. No, it would have been. Oh, I don't even know.
Just keep talking other than Fernandes, and I'll have a look at it.
But I mean, like we were saying, with Arsenal, they've got that fluidity with Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka that they can interchange. They're young, fast-paced, hungry, wanting to win.
So you would have joined in the season. Jesus, it's been a while. 1920 January transfer window. He's been there since 2020.
Yeah, so he joined in the January 20, so that was during COVID.
So 14 games, 8 goals, 7 assists. Then in his first full season, 37 games, 18 goals, 12 assists. That's 36 games, 10 goals, 6 assists. And this season he's got 2 goals, 1 assist in 13 games. That's just Premier League stats, by the way.
So that first season and a half, without Ronaldo on the team, he was putting up Kevin De Bruyne numbers.
Yeah.
And we know how good Kevin De Bruyne is. It's not easy to get 40 goals and assists in a season.
Yeah, it was deadline day, 30th of January 2020 when they signed him.
But the thing is, though, those are Kevin De Bruyne numbers. And then you introduce Ronaldo. It's the same that happened to Dybala. Dybala had this huge career ahead of him.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Juve sort of adapted their whole style of play to then push Dybala back and to the side, and you go play on the left-hand side to accommodate for Ronaldo.
But another reason why I can sort of, again, sympathise with Ronaldo's situation at Man U is Man U should never have signed him back.
They got desperate because City were going to sign him.
I'll say this now. The only reason they've signed him back is, one, because they were nervous that City was going to sign him, and two, because Sir Alex Ferguson has such a big say in that club still to this day, which is so wrong because he puts his nose in everything, which he shouldn't. Ronaldo even said it. Alex Ferguson convinced him to go back to Man U. Ronaldo didn't want to go back to Man U. Ronaldo wanted to go to another club that is winning trophies because Ronaldo is hell bent on having the most trophies, most goals, most assists, so he's regarded better than Messi. That's what he's hell bent on. That's why he wanted to go to City and play under Guardiola, because City winning Premier Leagues, pushing for Champions Leagues, AFL Cups, FA Cups, winning trophies season after season. He wanted to go there, he wanted to go to PSG, he wanted to go anywhere that's going to win trophies. Alex Ferguson goes, no. Man U, go back to Man U. You will win with Man U, you will be a main part of Man U. Alex Ferguson putting his nose in it. He shouldn't have done that because it wasn't what the club want, because the club had their own ideas. I mean, because they signed Jadon Sancho in that same transfer window. Jadon Sancho would be a completely different player now if Ronaldo didn't sign. They signed, who else did they sign? They signed they signed players in that transfer window that were needed and that were going to help them become the club that they want to be again. And then all of a sudden they sign Ronaldo. All that goes out the window. All that plan, all that preparation goes out the window.
Personally, you just look at that United team without Ronaldo, and I think it's pre-signing Ronaldo, I think that's the players that they needed. They would have went and dipped in the market, maybe in January, or
they could have been doing what
after.
Arsenal are doing now.
Yeah,
that had that potential.
A season if they didn't sign Ronaldo, they're going in the market for Casemiro. Maybe instead of Casemiro, they're going in for Declan Rice because they've got a lot more funds because they haven't been paying like $2 million a month for Ronaldo. Or they're going in for someone else that is just as good.
£515,000 a week spending on Ronaldo.
which is an obscene amount of money.
Sorry.
Like an obscene amount of money.
Yeah.
For someone that is constantly whining and whining and whining on.
I mean, come on, you can't keep walking off.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not even walking off, it's leaving the stadium.
Leaving the stadium. I mean, it's refusing to come on.
Like, refusing to come on, going in the change rooms and leaving the stadium. He left the stadium twice before the end of the match. Even if you just go into the change rooms and sit in the change rooms, that's not as bad. Just go sit in the change rooms.
It's still bad.
Yeah, but it's not as bad.
It's not as bad as leaving the stadium, but it's...
Players have went inside... Realistically, if there's 2 minutes left of the game, and, like, you're not coming on, like, and your team's... I don't even know what the score was. Was it against Spurs? Were they beating Spurs?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
But if he started walking, taking a slow walk down to the tunnel,
the fans and stuff like that,
yeah, waving at the fans,
or even if he went along and shook the fans' hands or something like that, took photos of fans' hands, going towards the changing rooms and just sat in the changing rooms, didn't leave the stadium, sat in the changing rooms. That's not that bad because he's interacted with the fans. He's sort of done his bit. He's not coming on the pitch and he's going to get changed. Fair enough. That's not as bad. I can understand a high-profile player not coming on the pitch during a big game and wanting to go in the change rooms and sort of evaluate a situation and get out of the stadium. Well, not the stadium, but out of like the sort of coliseum as such.
Yeah.
But if you went on the way and interacted with the fans, that is a better light. You're giving someone something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not on the pitch, I know it's not his fault. I mean, was it his fault? Did he refuse being subbed? We don't fully know the story.
Yeah,
it can be twisted in a way.
Well, that's what came out and got said, that he refused to come on because he was going to come on for the last couple of minutes, which for a man of his caliber and his career, it is
not.
Could we say a harsh subnorm? But then you can't say anything against Ten Hag because he's looking at the player that's in front of him now. He's not looking at his previous career. He's looking at the player that sat in front of him, sees him train every day, and he goes, "You do not start for me, and you do not come on until the last couple of minutes because you are not part of the future here and what I need now." It's
I think we should now talk about the World Cup.
I was going to say, move on. World Cup time.
So World Cup starts in tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow, Ecuador versus Qatar, Ecuador. Sorry, before I get shot for putting Ecuador first.
Yeah, but on that situation, the Ecuador versus Qatar, you did see the sort of bribery situation that was going on, which should not be accepted.
So like
Ecuadorian players, got offered 7.4 million each or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
To throw the game 1-0 in the second half.
Yeah.
If it's fully true, which we can't exactly say it is.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
It's been confirmed by a few people, but I mean, realistically, if it's been put out in the air in such a manner as that, surely it can't happen.
They may lose the game, but Ecuador may score.
Yeah,
Ecuador may go ahead 1-0 and then Qatar come back and win 2-1 sort of thing.
Which makes me question Qatar's sort of run up to the World Cup as well, because they're currently sat 50th in the world rankings.
Yeah.
They won this sort of African Cup or Asian Cup thing, I don't know.
Middle Eastern League.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Middle Eastern teams are
obviously it's a World Cup and it's a FIFA tournament. Everyone knows how corrupt FIFA are, and the majority of football and governing bodies are these days. They are very corrupt in the way they go about it. Obviously, Qatar getting the World Cup, which is the first ever World Cup to be hosted in the Middle East, the first ever World Cup to be hosted in the winter. You know,
all these exceptions for money.
It's filled with controversy. Obviously, the human rights over there and things like that.
All the deaths leading up to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the UAE, Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, everyone, they're all in debt. The governments are all in debt, no matter how many times they try and create the line and this and the other. They're in debt. They just borrow against their own country.
The thing is, though, Gary Neville done a sort of documentary.
That was such a good documentary.
Was it like a year or two ago?
Yeah, it's like 2 years ago. Maybe even because they've known about them hosting the World Cup for the past
It's been a while.
Like 8 years.
Yeah, but he done a documentary, and he threw out a lot of good questions. It's like, so alcohol, fans want to drink alcohol. It's not just English fans that want to drink alcohol. We've got the Brazilians, they love drinking alcohol. The Germans, love it more than us.
Yeah.
French, they love the wine. Like, but realistically, people go there to let loose, sort of enjoy themselves. Have a drink. Yes, some fans take it to the extreme, but the majority are more well tamed.
Yeah.
And fans such as Japan, they clean up after themselves. They go drink, but then clean up after themselves. Yeah. You saw them in the stadium, saw them in the change rooms. They just clean up after. Anyway, on a tangent, they've now banned alcohol from the World Cup completely.
They've banned it stadiums and around the stadiums.
And originally they had fan zones that they could drink in. I don't know if they're still around, the fan zones.
They are still around.
But apparently they're like £80 per alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, so you're allowed to drink in them, but they're trying to make it as expensive as possible for you not to drink in them.
Yeah.
And if you are going to drink in them, you're only literally going to have one.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Because, I mean, even have you seen the accommodation video?
Yeah, it's awful.
It's not a door. It's what do you even call it? Like a plastic window, plastic sheet that you just pull up and walk in, and then it's literally just a prison bed,
an AC, and a toilet.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's your accommodation that you're paying like
£200 a night.
Yeah, £200-300 a night for. Whilst you're there, it's. I say like you've got like football pitches in a gym and stuff like that outdoor and stuff, but the whole thing, I mean, hosting it in Qatar is just a bad idea anyway. Because you've seen the video of the English players training and they're all running over to the massive ACs.
But the thing is, apparently the stadiums are going to be air conditioned. I don't know how much I'm going to believe that. Like,
I've seen the videos and the massive ACs are like half the size of this room per one of them. They're huge.
I know, but like realistically,
air conditioning.
What about if it breaks? What about if how much have they rigorously tested those to the point where they are going to work? Yeah. And if they fail, what's their backup plan? Are they going to stop the game? Because I'm not being funny. Playing in 35-degree heats, it's absolutely insane. And the humidity over there, that's like 85+%.
But it's tough to give them credit for anything in Qatar for the World Cup. One thing I can give them credit for is how well thought out they've done the stadiums. It's one thing I'm going to give them credit for, because you always see it with World Cups. They make all these lavish, expensive stadiums, and then afterwards they're left to rot. It happened with the Brazilian World Cup in 2014. Russian World Cup as well. All the stadiums are left to rot afterwards. They've put a thought process in mind where they're going to keep, I think, 1 or 2 stadiums they're keeping for teams that have said they'll have them afterwards, or they'll host events there. But they've had a thought process for after the tournament, right? What can we do with these stadiums? One of the stadiums are made out of containers, shipping containers. That stadium can literally be moved to a different country. Yeah, it can be dismantled, taken apart, used for different things. So I've got to give them credit for that. They've had a thought process in mind where nothing's going to go to waste. There's a purpose for all the stadiums afterwards.
I swear one of them's been turned into like a swimming complex. I don't know.
Potentially, like I say, they've given really good thought into, which is something nobody's finding any credit really for the Qatari World Cup. But that's something.
Have you seen the designs of them as well? They look very what's the word I'm trying to get at here that isn't going to get demonetized, even though we don't get monetized? Genital-like. Female genital.
I don't know, I haven't.
Looks very sort of downstairs of the female department.
I haven't looked, to be fair.
Children, if you're watching this, close your ears.
Well,
I don't know. But anyway,
like
if you genuinely look at them from a sky view, 1 or 2 looked like the downstairs department of a female. Well, in terms of like a generalized sort of view of a said downstairs.
Well, you shut up. You keep saying the same thing. Right, okay, I've just seen one. Yeah, I agree with you.
You guys have a look?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that the one?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a few. There's one that's even sort of than that.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so there's that point, but I'm giving credit for their designs of the stadiums and the thought process that they put in mind for their stadiums into the World Cup, which is fair enough. Have you seen the accommodation that the players are staying in?
Oh my!
Have you seen Giroud?
Yeah.
He posted the video of it.
Yeah,
they've got the French national logo engraved into the shower door. Levels is mental.
Have you seen how far? So like,
I really wish I was in the UAE this weekend though, because you can just go Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and then Qatar World Cup. Anyway.
That's kind of a dream for me.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
I mean, it's a dream for the channels. We've got an F1 channel. We've got a football channel. Vlogging that event. Oh, tell you what, imagine.
Oh, that would be a good vlog.
The next time there's a World Cup, so in 4 years' time, we've got to be big YouTubers. Big podcasters.
Someone pay for us to go out like this week.
No,
this week.
So I'm saying we get a sponsor, and we have right. Where's the next World Cup? Do you know? Have a look where the next World Cup is. Hopefully, it's in the place of a.
Germany's got. I think Germany's got like the next Euros.
I genuinely don't know who's got the next World Cup.
I do know, but I'm getting it mixed up in my head.
Have we not made a bid?
That's for 2028 Euros.
There's no Euros in 2028, it'll be 2026.
That's not 2026 the next World Cup.
Oh shit. Oh, blimey, yes.
Who will host 2026 World Cup? It will be held in the US, Mexico and Canada.
No. Oh. We need to find out when the next US Grand Prix is. Line it up. Someone can then pay for us to go vlog the entire thing. So we go to a Grand Prix and then we go to the football. Boom.
Alright, anyway.
I will even wear clothing designed around the brand that takes us there.
Back onto the Qatari World Cup. I saw someone put a tweet out, and this is very interesting because I think it was Jose Mourinho mentioned it, or it might have been Samuel Eto'o actually mentioned this part, is the number of players who are representing a nation that's not the country of their birth.
Yeah.
137 players.
Have you seen the Welsh squad?
No.
Like 13 of them are English and one's German.
I'd say so. There's a lot of French involved in this, in terms of the Senegalese squad. A lot of them are born in France. The Cameroon squad, a lot of them were born in France.
Well, if you're born in that country, though, technically you're a resident of that country.
Ghana, born in France.
The thing is, though, if you're born in that country, that's where you're from.
Yeah.
Full stop. It doesn't matter where your parents are from. That's where you were born. So therefore, you can play for that.
137 different. 137 players are born in different countries.
But have you seen what Qatar are doing?
Who they're representing?
Have you seen what Qatar are doing? Which
fake
is
fans?
So not just fake fans, which we'll get onto that. But it's the I watched a sort of It was a doc talk. Do you know what I mean? The TikTok would have documentaries. It has multiple parts.
Yeah.
It was basically how Qatar are increasing their sort of quality of squad. So they're going to places like Argentina, Brazil, Croatia, even England, Germany, going to the very, very bottom of the youth, like the young youth age, bringing them across to Qatar, playing them in the Qatari leagues, putting them in the Qatari academy. So because they've been there for a certain amount of time before being professional,
there's so many years.
Yeah, before they've turned professional, they're able to qualify for the Qatari team, and then they put them in the Qatari team. So what they do,
they are scouting players. Essentially, they're scouting players. But onto the point, I made fake fans.
Yeah. Which is so
annoying. The thing because someone came out and said, look, they're not fake fans, but one point being is
they've got a t-shirt on that says Brazil fans Qatar.
Brazil fans Qatar 2022. That's point one. But my other point was these videos started circulating last Sunday, a whole week before the World Cup. there isn't any nation that is going to have fans, that amount of fans there
a week
before the World Cup, because there's nobody who's going to get 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks off work. For the World Cup. And there's no one who's going to pay to be there for that time.
Yeah.
As apparently they're getting like, I don't know, I think it was like £20 a day accommodation and food.
To be a fan.
To be a fake fan. I can't, what nation was it? Apparently they went somewhere, and so it isn't, some people are saying it's the migrant workers who were there.
Yeah.
They haven't done that, they've went elsewhere.
Yeah.
Another country, and said, we'll give you, obviously a country that's deprived and struggling for money and things like that, and go, right, wear these tops, be a fake fan, we'll give you food, accommodation,
TikTok videos
and a little bit of money.
Sort of TikTok page.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Germany. It's all these.
Who's your favourite player? Messi.
Who's the England legends? Beckham, Sol Campbell. Like, what?
Do you see what the England squad did? They played a game against the migrant workers, and they give them all tickets to the England-Iran game, I think it was, which was...
When is the England-Iran game?
That's nice.
On the 20th? On Monday?
Monday. Mm-hmm. Because we play USA on Friday. I'm sorry. We play the USA on Friday.
Oh, so that's our first game Friday?
No, our first game is Iran on Monday, and then play USA on the Friday. Then we've got Wales.
Because tomorrow's the first game. Well, whenever you're watching this, the 20th is the first game.
Yeah.
Which is probably the day this video is going to be coming out.
Yeah. Which...
I don't think we've made World Cup predictions as such.
We have done on TikTok.
What we'll do out here, let's quickly
go
through now.
I'll
get the group stages up.
But are we going to go who's going to win groups? Are we going to say the World Cup predictions that we had put out on TikTok?
I can't remember what I put out on TikTok, if I'm being honest.
Tell you. Do you want to do group stage predictions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Do group stage predictions and then who we think is going to win the World Cup.
Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands.
Senegal, Netherlands. But like...
What, in that order, or...?
No, other way around.
Netherlands, Senegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. But depends on how rigged Qatar make it. Mm-hmm. That... Well, we'll go off the Qatar, a really good country, and they're not corrupt and they're not going to do anything bad. Right. Group B, England, Iran, USA, Wales.
England... Wales.
England, USA.
Mm-hmm.
Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland.
Argentina, Poland.
I think Argentina, Mexico, you know. I think heat comes into a factor there. Group D, France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia.
France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. I'm going to go France and then Denmark.
France and Denmark. Group E is Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan.
Germany, then Spain, and then Japan. But like obviously Japan not going through.
Yeah, I'll go Germany. I think Spain, but I think Spain will struggle in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I think Spain are beatable against
Japan.
Even Costa Rica.
Yeah, tough group.
Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Belgium, Croatia.
Belgium got beat off Egypt.
Yeah, it's just pre-season. We got beat off everyone in the Nations League. We got relegated out of the Nations League, but yeah, we're going through.
Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
Brazil, Cameroon.
I was thinking the same. But Brazil, Serbia.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I've said in my TikTok predictions of Serbia as my dark horses. I think Brazil, Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
To go throughout that. Group H, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea Republic.
I think Uruguay will top that group, and I think Portugal will also go through.
Yeah, I think Ghana could be an outside bet against Portugal in that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think Ghana have like a very good team commodity and they've got a really good squad, to be fair to them.
Yeah.
I think Uruguay, you said they're your underdogs for the tournament. So yeah, winners of the World Cup.
I think the winner of the World Cup is going to be Argentina.
I've said the same.
I think Argentina are going to win the World Cup. I hope they're going to win.
Obviously,
it's either England, I hope, win the World Cup, or it's going to be.
Obviously, the favourites are Brazil, then Argentina.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say Argentina over Brazil is I've explained it in a way of Brazil are very samba dancey. Like we enjoy our football, which is all well and good. But with Argentina, they've got this winning mentality now.
Yeah.
Of we've got to do it for Messi. We're going to fight on the pitch. We're going to die on the pitch. We're going to win this tournament.
Which they done in the Copa America.
Which they did in the Copa America, and then also in that testimonial game for Maradona, which I really like that idea. I said that for a long time. That winners of Copa America play the winners of the Euros.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Who's your dark horse for the tournament?
My dark horse was Uruguay.
My dark horse was Serbia. Biggest underachievers. Can you remember who you said on your TikTok? Because I've got yours up here.
I think I said France.
You said France. Do you want to put a bit more spin on France? Because I believe I said Spain.
I said France because of the team that they've got is full of world-class players across the pitch. Yes, the midfield does look a little bit weak with Kante and Pogba not being in there, but the attacking players and the attacking outlets such as Coleman, Benzema, Mbappe, Dembele, and the defence is extremely strong with Varane. They've got Mendy. The goalkeeper. Also, my gang not going is criminal. By the way,
is he not going?
He's not going to the World Cup.
Oh, it must be Mandanda that I saw.
My gang's not going to the World Cup, which is ridiculous.
I know that he's been injured this season, so I don't know if he's fit to go or not. I'm not sure.
Well, if he's fit, he should be going.
Yeah,
just in my opinion.
So you're saying that France have got that good of a squad, but they're gonna underachieve.
I think they're gonna go out in the round of 16
for how good of a squad that.
Yeah, round of 16. I think they'll go out in the round of 16. I don't know who they're gonna play in the round of 16, but I feel like they're gonna go out in the round of 16.
I said was Spain was going to be my underachievers, just because they just don't have anything. They've got talented midfielders, but young talented midfielders.
Haven't really got the experience.
They've got no striking prowess. They've got nothing going forward. Defensively shaky, goalkeeper shaky. So they're underachieving. Your top scorer, you said
Harry Kane. If we get to the semis,
I said Neymar is my top scorer. Now I saw someone do a video about this on TikTok. Can't remember who it was. And they said theirs was Depay.
Yeah.
Now they give a very good reason why, because they definitely looked into it, is because their group is decently favourable for Netherlands. Because it was either Serbia or Netherlands was going to be my dark horse for the tournament. I went Serbia.
Netherlands are a good team anyway.
But then if they get through their group as group winners, they then play whoever finishes second in our group, which will be Wales or USA or Iran, or potentially us if we don't finish top. So if we finish top and it's one of those teams, that's another favourable tie for them. So good thinking on that. Who's your breakout star for it?
I said Jamal Musiala.
Musiala for Germany.
Yeah, I said that obviously he's already had a breakout season with Bayern.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's gonna excel at this World Cup.
Yeah. Mine was on Holland was Cody Gakpo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which he had a decent season last season. Well, he had a very good season last season. He's had a very good season this season so far. But I think he's gonna very much announce himself on the biggest stage And I think you could, if Netherlands group work out the way they are, he could be in contention for top scorer as well. Most assists.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember who I said for most assists.
The GOAT.
Oh yeah, I said Lionel.
Yeah, I did as well. Player of the tournament. This wasn't, you haven't predicted this because this wasn't actually on the predictions. I'm just throwing it in. He's going to be the player of the tournament.
Lionel.
Yeah, I agree. But does that wrap up today's video?
I think that wraps up today's video.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this. Our next podcast will be our first ever guest.
Yes.
So
we've got a guest on the next podcast. We've got guests on the podcast after that.
Right, okay, I was going to say, right, so confirmed first guest is an ex-footballer. We'll be advertising it here and there, but we're not going to announce the name. We're not going to announce anyone.
We'll give a little bit. He's a former professional in
First Division.
First Division.
He played for Middlesbrough in the First Division.
In the First Division.
So, and then the podcast after that, we have an interesting. Shall we give a little bit of? Shall we give a little bit of teaser? A little bit of a teaser. He's a goalkeeper coach.
He's an ex-professional goalkeeper and academy goalkeeper coach.
So
I'm not going to say where.
And then the podcast after that, we've got a massive guest coming on.
We're not going to give any teasers on that.
No, not at all. That one is a big guest that we are actually going to throw out a few questions to everybody. If you want to ask a few questions towards them, in the podcast,
we'll do.
After,
if you follow us on TikTok, we'll do a post on TikTok where in the comment section you can write in the questions you want to ask this guest. But we won't announce that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Until we've confirmed the date with them, because we do have confirmed dates with the next two. So the guest podcast will go live on the 25th.
Yeah.
Which is the footballer. Yeah. And then the goalkeeper coach is getting filmed on the 25th.
Yeah.
So that will come live around 27th.
And then we'll keep you updated on a very special guest after that. But for now, thank you very much for watching.
Oh, that was
weird. That was weird, huh?
You want a drink? But other than that, yeah, take that on Instagram in the description down below and like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.